I have a gentleman here who has been speaking up for Israel in this time of war, in so many media channels defending Israel, and he's not even Jewish. His name is Richard Kemp. Colonel, please, would you come to this stage? I want to have a word from you. Yes, let's jump up here. How are you today, sir?
Very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing even better every minute, and especially feeling, excited that you are here.
Well, I'm very, very excited to be here. Very unexpectedly, I was outside minding my own business and you dragged me in.
Well, this war has somehow turned and twisted the minds of people all over the world. You've been able to straighten things up a bit, haven't you?
Well, I've tried to straighten up as best I can, but it is very hard. The only thing I would say is that I've just come back from Australia. I've been in the US, I've been in the UK in recent weeks, and the UK. There's some waving down there from some rowdy Brits, I think. My impression, certainly, I don't have any scientific basis, but my impression is that the majority of ordinary, decent people in those countries support Israel, stand behind Israel. It's the minority of rowdy, noisy, anti-Israel, bigoted individuals who orchestrate anti-Israel protests and get a lot of followers, but they're noisy people. They're not necessarily the majority, in my view.
Now, Israel took the city center of Rafah and the Philadelphia corridor. What do you think of this? People told us we will never get it and it will never happen, and it happened yesterday. What's your take?
Well, I think it's symbolic of the incredible military action the IDF has been carrying out in Gaza since the ground war began. I've been inside Gaza several times with the IDF, and I've witnessed firsthand how extremely effective and professional they are, how they have dealt very, very severe blows to Hamas, while at the same time doing everything they can, and much more than most other armed forces have ever done or could ever do, to minimize the loss of civilian life. And they've achieved phenomenal results with relatively few casualties, despite the lies and the distortions that you hear in so much of the world media by the United Nations and by too many politicians.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to pray for this hero that stands up for Israel in these times of great difficulties. Now, you're going to go to UN now. You're going to be speaking at UN. You're going to be standing in a witness stand, or what is it?
I'm meeting a number of UN diplomats and politicians in Washington to try and explain from an objective perspective and a professional military perspective what's actually going on here. Because in my experience, talking to politicians in different countries in recent months, even those who are supporting Israel, they really don't understand it, and they need to hear in detail the reality as opposed to just what they read on the media. And I can play a very small role in trying to help them to understand.
Now, we are going to New York in September 15, 16. Any chance you can join us there?
I'd be my honor to join you if I'm invited, yes.
We will be very, very happy. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And before I leave the stage, and I do very much like the sound of my own voice, so I want to just say a few brief words to you. And I wasn't expecting to come here tonight, as I said, but we're all familiar with the words of from the book of Isaiah. And when God said, "Who shall we send? Who will go for us?" Isaiah immediately, without thinking, stood up and said, "Here I am, send me." And I congratulate all of you who have come here, particularly from outside Israel today and the last few days. You're like Prophet Isaiah. You're the ones who are willing to stand up and say, "Here I am, send me." Israel needs this. Israel needs this support. There is nothing more important. And the other thing I would say, we shouldn't see this as a burden. We should see this as a tremendous honor to be in a position to stand up and support Israel in its most needed time.
Thank you so much, Colonel. Thank you.